The Spiritual Law of Sowing and Reaping. Written by Kelvin W. Nathan. Published by Audiobooks Office. Introduction. Like a farmer who plants seeds and patiently waits for them to grow, we too sow our actions into the universe, reaping their effects in due time. This audiobook delves into the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, a profound principle that governs our lives. It's not just about karma, but also how our attitudes and thought patterns shape our reality. The author explores this concept analytically, weaving threads from various beliefs like the law of attraction and spiritual enlightenment. The ebook will explore the role faith plays in manifestation and how it steers us on the path towards self-realization. For those yearning to understand life's mysteries or seeking a deeper understanding of themselves, this exploration offers food for thought, challenging perspectives while illuminating paths less traveled by. For more information about the ebook version, visit audiobooksoffice.com. If you still need to subscribe, please support the channel by hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. Thanks for inspiring us to create more content for you. Chapter 1. Understanding Universal Principles. Interestingly, it's estimated that about 80% of people worldwide believe in some form of spiritual law, with the universal principle of sowing and reaping being one of the most recognized. This analogy, rooted in agriculture, illustrates a timeless truth. What you sow is directly proportional to what you will reap. Just as a farmer who plants wheat wouldn't expect to harvest corn, so too does this spiritual concept suggest that our actions yield results in kind. Delving deeper into this principle, it becomes clear that it isn't just about physical actions, but also extends to thoughts, words, emotions, essentially all aspects of human consciousness. The seeds we plant today through our deeds, or even intangible elements like intention, could potentially bear fruit tomorrow. It's a subtle yet profound reminder of personal responsibility and accountability. Moreover, there's an element of timing involved, a sense that every action has its season for repercussion. This can be difficult for many to grasp because often the effects are not immediate. They require patience and faith, much like waiting for crops to grow. However, understanding this delay can lead us to greater wisdom and foresight. This universal principle isn't simply about reward or punishment either. Rather, it's an embodiment of balance, the idea that energy flows back towards its source in equal measure. Understanding how these laws work could lead us toward more mindful living, where we seek not only personal gain, but also contribute positively to the world around us. Before advancing further into exploring the relation between actions and consequences, let's pause here and reflect on how deeply intertwined our lives are with these fundamental truths. We are partakers in a cosmic dance where each step resonates with consequence, either setting off ripples or calming waves, and hence shapes our shared reality. Chapter 2. The relation between actions and consequences. Undeniably, our actions and their resulting consequences are deeply intertwined, like threads in a beautifully woven tapestry. Every decision we make, intentional or not, subtly alters the pattern of our lives. This correlation exemplifies the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, a universal principle with profound philosophical implications. The law suggests that every action, be it physical or emotional, sprouts seeds into the universe, which eventually mature into corresponding repercussions. Our deeds determine not only our present circumstances, but also set the tone for our future experiences. This concept resonates with an age-old wisdom. If you sow kindness, you will reap love. If you sow hatred, expect hostility in return. This principle demands thoughtful introspection on how one conducts oneself in day-to-day life. It encourages mindful living and ethical conduct by emphasizing that every choice has a potential consequence attached to it. not just for ourselves but for those around us as well, painting a vivid picture of responsibility and interconnectedness. Yet this isn't about fear or punishment. Rather, it's an empowering realization of personal control over one's destiny through wise decision-making and conscious action-taking. By understanding this relation between actions and consequences, one can invite more positivity into life while minimizing negativity. One might argue that such principles bear striking similarities to other spiritual concepts from different cultures across the globe. The next section delves deeper into this comparison by exploring how these ideas align with the concept of karma, another profound doctrine underscoring life's intricate balance between cause and effect. Chapter 3. The Concept of Karma. You've probably heard of karma, right? It's a concept that's been around for centuries, deeply ingrained in various cultures and philosophies worldwide. Karma, originating from ancient Indian religions, is essentially the spiritual law of cause and effect. It posits that every action has an equal reaction or consequence. This principle reminds individuals of their agency and power over their destiny through their actions. Karma underscores the philosophy behind the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. When one plants a seed or performs an action, they set into motion a series of events that eventually culminate in a result directly correlated to the original action. If one sows kindness, they reap love. If one sows harm, they reap discord. Karma underscores this by highlighting how past actions have shaped present circumstances. However, understanding karma isn't about fearing retribution, but recognizing the potent influence each person wields over their life trajectory. It's about cultivating mindfulness regarding our choices and actions, how even seemingly insignificant deeds can ripple across time to sculpt our future realities. Karma also imparts wisdom on forgiveness and empathy by showing us that all are entangled in this web of interconnectedness. Our joys and sorrows alike are products of our individual karmic journeys. It encourages self-improvement not through fear, but introspection, grace, and acceptance. The concept of karma thus serves as an enlightening segue into examining attitudes, the seeds we sow in our minds, and how those mental constructs shape our experiences and outcomes. Chapter 4. Attitudes and their outcomes. Just as a gardener's harvest is shaped by the seeds they plant, our attitudes can significantly influence the outcomes in our lives. Take, for instance, a study conducted at Harvard University that revealed students with optimistic outlooks were 77% less likely to develop heart disease than their pessimistic peers, demonstrating how positive mental seeds can yield tangible health harvests. This aligns perfectly with the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. What you sow in thought and emotion, you reap in reality. It's fascinating to consider how this principle manifests in different areas of life. A person who consistently nurtures feelings of gratitude tends to attract more reasons to be grateful. Alternatively, one who habitually succumbs to negativity may find themselves ensnared by perpetual disappointment. It's akin to planting either flowers or weeds in your mental garden. The outcome depends entirely on what you choose to cultivate. But why does attitude bear such potent effects? The answer may be found within the complex interplay between psychology and physiology. Emotions like joy and optimism trigger biochemical responses conducive to health and well-being, whereas stress and pessimism elicit reactions that are potentially harmful over time. To fully appreciate these implications requires a shift from purely mechanistic thinking towards a more holistic perspective, one that acknowledges the profound interconnectedness between mind, body, and spirit. The notion that we can shape our life experience through conscious control over our thoughts is both empowering and daunting, an invitation not just for personal growth, but also ethical consideration. As we continue exploring this theme further, we'll delve into reflections on thought patterns and how they serve as fertile ground where seeds of consciousness are sown. Chapter 5. Reflections on Thought Patterns. In examining our thought patterns, it's crucial to recognize their inherent power as the terra firma in which seeds of consciousness are planted and from which our reality springs forth. These mental formations can be likened to fertile soil. They have the capacity to nurture and grow whatever is sowed within them. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping isn't restricted merely to physical actions, but penetrates deeply into the realm of thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and emotions. The quality of thoughts we entertain influences not only our individual psyche, but also shapes our outlook on life. In essence, if one plants seeds of negativity, fear, or resentment in their mental landscape, it invariably leads to a harvest reflective of these elements. Conversely, nurturing a mindset filled with positivity and hope yields fruits that resonate with these virtues. Consider this: thoughts are powerful tools that shape perception. Perception molds experience. Ultimately, experience crafts reality, the very life one lived. Therefore, it becomes imperative for individuals seeking growth and harmony in life to scrutinize their thought patterns meticulously. It is insightful wisdom recognizing that consistent positive thinking cultivates an environment conducive for prosperity, while persistent negative thinking fosters stagnation or regression. As much as this may seem simplistic or idealistic, it is grounded in profound truth, mirroring the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. As we delve deeper into understanding how thoughts subtly but surely influence outcomes in tangible ways through this spiritual principle, we inevitably encounter the all-encompassing dynamics of positive and negative energy that infuse every aspect of existence. Chapter 6. Positive and Negative Energy. Don't underestimate the power of your thoughts, for they carry a potent energy, positive or negative, that can transform not just your day, but your entire life. This energy is comparable to seeds sown in a garden. The nature of what one plants determines what will grow and flourish. In the same way, each thought holds an inherent potentiality that manifests into reality, affecting one's actions and ultimately their outcomes. Positive thinking is akin to sowing seeds of hope, love, and peace. These thoughts foster an environment conducive to growth and prosperity, cultivating joy and fulfillment in the individual's life. On the contrary, negative thinking plants seeds of fear, anger, and despair. Such thoughts create a hostile environment that stifles growth and leads to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping underscores this interplay between thoughts, seeds, and reality, harvest. It posits that individuals have control over their lives by choosing their thoughts carefully. Their mental cultivations are integral determinants of their future harvests. However, it's important to note that this process isn't instantaneous. It requires patience, as every seed has its own gestation period before it bears fruit. Yet, with persistence in maintaining a positive mindset despite circumstances suggests assurance towards desired results. This understanding prompts us to consider our cognitive processes more critically. Are we fostering positivity or negativity? What kind of energy are we manifesting through our thoughts? As we delve deeper into this topic in the upcoming section on the cycle of cause and effect, remember how crucially powerful your mind can be as you navigate through life's challenges. It is indeed a fertile soil that promises abundant yields depending on what seeds are planted therein. Chapter 7. The Cycle of Cause and Effect. As we traverse from the realm of positive and negative energy, one cannot overlook its influence on the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. This energetic ebb and flow not only imbues our actions, but also mirrors the cycle of cause and effect. At the core of this universal principle lies a simple truth. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It reflects in diverse cultures, religions, science, even in life's mundane moments. Although often associated with karmic principles or divine justice, it transcends religious bounds into a shared human philosophy. This cyclical dance creates a complex tapestry where threads are woven by our thoughts, actions, and decisions, essentially sowing seeds that will eventually bear fruit. The nature of these fruits is dictated by the quality of seeds sown. Sow thorns and reap prickles, or sow compassion and reap love. Thus unfolds life's grand theater where humans are both actors making choices, the causes, and spectators witnessing their effects. It's pivotal to understand that this cycle isn't punitive. Rather, it's instructive. It prompts introspection into one's actions while fostering empathy for others' experiences. By recognizing their role as architects within this cycle, individuals can consciously cultivate seeds that align with their aspirations. In essence, understanding the spiritual law of sowing and reaping unveils how cause and effect relationships shape lives like an unseen sculptor chipping at raw stone to reveal inherent beauty beneath. Harnessing knowledge about these intricate cycles can empower individuals to mindfully shape their world around them, embodying not just passive observers, but active creators who hold power over manifesting their reality. Chapter 8. Manifesting Your Reality. Harnessing the cycle of cause and effect allows you to consciously manifest your desired reality. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping is not just a mystical concept. It is a manifestation principle governed by thought patterns, attitudes, and actions, or even beliefs. Every action has an equal reaction, and everything you project into the universe will eventually return to you. The key to manifesting your reality is mindfulness. You must be acutely aware of your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. These are the seeds you sow daily in your life, and they shape your experiences and determine whether you will reap joy or sorrow, abundance or starvation. Intentionality also plays a pivotal role. Setting intentions is like setting a compass for your life's journey. It guides your thoughts towards what you want to attract or create. By aligning your intentions with positive actions and thoughts, you can make deliberate strides towards your desired outcomes. However, it is important to realize that patience is inherent in this cycle. Manifestation does not happen instantaneously. It takes time, just like crops require time to grow before they can be harvested. Understanding this process empowers individuals to be active participants in shaping their lives, rather than mere bystanders subject to fate's whims. Knowing how manifestation works by consciously sowing positive seeds into life's fertile soil brings us closer to mastering our own destinies. This mastery opens doors for further exploration into harnessing positivity as a powerful force that shapes our realities. Chapter 9. The Power of Positive Thinking. Positive thinking packs a potent punch in the process of personal progression, providing the platform for possibilities to proliferate. It is not merely an optimistic outlook. It's a fundamental principle that shapes our reality and impacts every facet of our lives. Our thoughts, according to the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, are seeds we sow into the universe. When these seeds are nurtured with positivity, they can blossom into favorable outcomes. In this context, positive thinking serves as a lens through which we perceive our existence. It enables us to see opportunities where others see obstacles and solutions where others see problems. By focusing on potential rather than limitation, we invite abundance into our lives. However, it's crucial to note that positive thinking isn't about denying or ignoring life's difficulties, but acknowledging them while choosing to focus on the brighter side. This choice often requires courage and resilience because it goes against human nature's tendency toward negativity bias. The power of positive thinking reveals itself most significantly when applied consistently over time. It cultivates an internal environment conducive to growth and transformation, akin to fertile soil in which seeds can germinate and flourish. As one begins to understand this power, it becomes clear that ethics and morality have their role too in shaping one's reality according to the law of sowing and reaping. For just as negative thoughts can manifest undesired results, unethical actions born out of negative intentions can create unfavorable circumstances, underscoring how both thought patterns and moral choices determine what we reap from life's vast field of possibilities. Chapter 10. The Role of Ethics and Morality. You might be wondering how ethics and morality factor into this equation of positivity, right? Well, they play a crucial role in shaping the outlook of individuals. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping is not just about doing good to reap good. It's fundamentally about being ethically sound and morally upright. Ethics and morality act as guiding principles in life. They are the foundation on which a person's character is built. When someone acts ethically or morally correct, they plant seeds of righteousness. These seeds could manifest as positive outcomes later on because one has essentially sown good deeds by adhering to ethical standards and moral obligations. Yet, there's more depth to consider here. Acting ethically means choosing what's right over what's convenient, even when no one is watching. It can be seen as an internal compass that guides decisions based on what is fair, just, and honorable, rather than selfish gain or deceitful tactics. In the same vein, morality encompasses understanding and recognizing the difference between right and wrong behavior, such as honesty versus deception, at a fundamental level. This recognition often emerges from empathy towards others' feelings or situations. Therefore, ethics and morality are interconnected with the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. Ethical actions sow seeds of goodwill that inevitably reap positive outcomes, while immoral actions may lead to undesirable consequences. As we delve deeper into our journey with this spiritual law, it becomes apparent that self-awareness plays an integral role in our personal growth journey alongside these concepts of ethics and morality. Chapter 11. Self-awareness and personal growth. Understanding ourselves better, recognizing our strengths and weaknesses, and being conscious of our actions and reactions are essential for personal growth. This process of self-awareness is the fertile soil in which the seeds of personal transformation can be sown. It allows us to understand how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors affect not only ourselves, but also those around us. In the context of the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, self-awareness is akin to being mindful about what we plant within ourselves. If we sow seeds of negativity, resentment, or selfishness within our minds, these are exactly what will grow in our lives. On the other hand, if we cultivate positivity, compassion, and kindness within us, they will bear fruit in all aspects of life. Personal growth demands an honest examination of one's own character, identifying areas that need improvement or change. The process might be uncomfortable at times as it involves facing our imperfections head-on. Yet this discomfort is a necessary part of growing emotionally and spiritually. The spiritual law teaches that when you sow a seed with intentionality, whether it's love or hate, you reap its harvest tenfold. So imagine what could happen if each person became more self-aware. They would sow good deeds, consciously knowing their efforts would come back manifold. Embracing this introspective journey leads to compelling transformations over time, making one wiser, compassionate, and resilient amidst challenges life throws their way. Such profound changes do not just contribute to individual happiness, but also have wider implications on society as a whole, fostering harmony and understanding among diverse individuals. As we move forward towards building a life rooted firmly in purpose, let's remember that every thought sown today impacts the world tomorrow. Chapter 12. Building a Life of Purpose. Understanding the connection between self-awareness and personal growth is a profound realization. It's like planting seeds in fertile ground, knowing that with time, patience, and care, they will grow into strong trees. However, this awareness alone isn't enough. It needs direction to thrive fully. This leads us to our next point of discussion: building a life of purpose. Purpose is the beacon that guides our actions and decisions towards meaningful outcomes. Similar to sowing seeds for harvest, we must sow actions aligned with our purpose for their fruits to bear meaning in our lives. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping becomes particularly significant here, as it suggests that what we invest our time and energy into will ultimately define what we reap. This concept may appear daunting at first glance. However, on deeper reflection, it provides an empowering perspective on life control. By consciously choosing where to invest our efforts, sowing, we possess a degree of control over what comes back to us. Reaping. The process of identifying one's purpose requires thoughtful introspection about one's values, passions, strengths, and how they can be utilized for greater good beyond personal gratification. Like sculpting from a block of marble, wherein every strike serves a deliberate intention, each action taken should aim towards carving out your desired reality based on your identified purpose. As you cultivate this life of purpose using the spiritual law of sowing and reaping as your guidepost, remember, each seed planted today determines tomorrow's harvest. Thus, as we transition into understanding how embracing accountability plays its part in this journey, remember, every choice made has its consequence. Chapter 13. Embracing Accountability. Embracing accountability can be a tough road to navigate, yet it's essential in carving out your desired life path. It's like planting seeds in the fertile soil of self-awareness and watching them grow into mature plants of responsibility and integrity. These plants then serve as the foundation for a meaningful existence rooted in the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. Accountability is the act of accepting responsibility for one's actions, decisions, and their subsequent outcomes. This requires an honest appraisal of oneself where each act is seen as a seed sown into the fabric of reality. Every thought, word, or action have potential consequences that ripple outwards from the source. That means you. When we fully embrace this concept, we recognize that we are not just passive observers, but active participants in our lives. We're not merely victims of circumstance, but architects shaping our destiny with every decision made. In this sense, accountability becomes an empowering force rather than a burdensome obligation. Moreover, accountability acts as both mirror and compass, reflecting our current state while pointing towards growth areas needing attention. By acknowledging missteps without judgment, but with understanding instead, we create space for growth and improvement, hence embodying the essence of sowing and reaping. What you sow, so shall you reap. Appreciating this connection between personal accountability and spiritual law fosters an environment conducive to nurturing compassion for oneself and others. As individuals recognize their own role in shaping outcomes, they become more empathetic to others navigating through similar journeys. The wisdom gained from embracing accountability thus paves way for cultivating deeper levels of compassion and empathy, key components on any journey towards holistic growth. Chapter 14. Cultivating Compassion and Empathy. Cultivating compassion and empathy isn't just about feeling for others. It's about truly comprehending their experiences and struggles. According to a study by the University of Michigan, people who showed more empathy were able to reduce negative health effects related to stress. This demonstrates that being in touch with others' emotions can have profound impacts on our physical well-being. This understanding ties directly into the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. By investing time in empathetic thoughts and actions, individuals sow seeds of compassion. These seeds inevitably reap benefits, not only for those they empathize with, but also for themselves. The return is often greater than the initial investment, echoing the principles central to this spiritual law. Empathy and compassion serve as conduits through which we connect with others on a deeper level. They enable us to see beyond our own perspectives, opening us up to alternative viewpoints and diverse experiences. This expansion of our emotional repertoire fosters greater understanding and acceptance, key elements necessary for promoting peace, unity, and harmony within society. However, cultivating such qualities requires conscious effort. It involves actively seeking out opportunities to understand others' experiences while challenging personal biases that may hinder this process. Yet, this is no easy task as it calls for vulnerability and openness to feel what others feel without judgment or reservation. The practice of empathy plays an integral role in actualizing the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, a testament to its transformative power. When coupled with forgiveness, another potent force, it holds immense potential for healing both personally and collectively. This paves the way towards embracing the power of forgiveness, the subsequent topic under consideration. Chapter 15. The Power of Forgiveness. Forgiveness goes beyond simply letting go. It is a powerful tool that allows us to move past hurts and grievances. It encapsulates the spiritual law of sowing and reaping by demonstrating that what we sow in terms of our actions and attitudes towards others, we will ultimately reap in our own lives. While forgiveness may appear to be a simple act on the surface, it necessitates a thorough understanding of oneself and others. The process demands emotional honesty, personal introspection, and a willingness to let go of deeply held resentment or anger. By choosing forgiveness, one is essentially planting seeds of compassion and empathy within their soul. This concept parallels the profound truth in the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. Whatever you give out comes back to you in full measure. Thus, when we forgive someone else for their wrongdoings against us, we are not only freeing ourselves from the chains of resentment, but also cultivating an environment where healing can occur. The power inherent in forgiveness lies not just in its capacity to liberate us from past pain, but also its potential to shape our future experiences. It offers an opportunity for growth, as it challenges individuals to transcend petty differences or grievances for a greater good, peace within oneself. As this cycle continues, forgiving others leading to inner peace, which then leads toward more positive interactions with those around them, it becomes clear how integral forgiveness is for personal transformation. This transformative power sets up a platform for learning how not to repeat past errors, a path towards wisdom gleaned from mistakes made along life's journey. Chapter 16. Learning from Past Mistakes. The exploration of the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, having wandered through the healing lanes of forgiveness, now veers towards an equally significant landscape, learning from past mistakes. This shift in focus is not a detour, but rather an essential progression on this spiritual journey. Past mistakes are often viewed as damning blots on our life's canvas. However, if perceived with wisdom and insight, they transform into powerful lessons that guide our future actions. Every mistake in the realm of spirituality is a seed sown into the rich soil of experiences, with the potential to yield a ripe harvest of wisdom. Considering past errors as learning opportunities aligns with the spiritual law we're dissecting here. When one reaps regret or pain from poorly chosen actions, sowing, it should ideally lead to introspection and corrective measures, reaping. This cycle mirrors nature's way. After winter comes spring. After decay comes renewal. Yet learning from past mistakes isn't merely about avoiding similar missteps in the future. It is also about cultivating virtues like humility, patience, resilience, attributes that contribute to personal growth and foster deeper self-awareness. This thoughtful interpretation implies that our errors don't define us. Rather, how we respond to them does. By recognizing this principle within the context of sowing and reaping, we gain a profound understanding that life isn't about achieving perfection, but growing through experiences while striving for betterment. As we continue exploring the spiritual law's impact further, let us turn our attention towards understanding how individual actions resonate within relationships. A crucial aspect highlighting what we sow today can significantly influence what we reap tomorrow. Chapter 17. Impact of Actions on Relationships. In our relationships, it's vital to remember that every action has a ripple effect. This isn't merely a statement of cause and consequence, but rather an illustration of the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. What we plant in our relationships today will inevitably bear fruit tomorrow. Whether the yield is one of harmony or discord largely depends on the quality of seeds sown. Actions speak louder than words, embodying intent, feeling, and character. The choices made and actions taken within our relationships can either nurture trust, understanding, and affection, or sow seeds of mistrust, misunderstanding, and resentment. This goes beyond mere romantic partnerships. Friendships, familial bonds, and professional associations are all subject to this universal principle. It's essential to understand that while some actions might seem insignificant at first glance, a small lie here, an unkind word there, they can accumulate over time into a harvest of disharmony. Just as an individual doesn't become physically unhealthy from eating poorly one day, but rather from consistent poor dietary habits, so too do relationships suffer from continuous negative actions. So how does one ensure they're planting seeds that will result in healthier relationships? By investing in personal growth, becoming more self-aware about behaviors impacting others negatively, developing emotional intelligence so as to better understand those around them. It's not about being perfect. It's about striving for improvement. The journey towards better relationship health begins with recognizing the power each person holds through their actions. The next conversation you have could be your chance to start planting better seeds, moving you closer towards your goal. Vibrant relational landscapes teeming with respect, understanding, and mutual appreciation. As we move forward discussing investing in personal development, let's bear these truths firmly in mind. Chapter 18. Investing in Personal Development. Delving deeper into the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, one uncovered a profound truth. The quality of life's harvest depends significantly on their inner growth. Where their impact on relationships paints a vivid picture of the seeds they've sown externally, investing in personal development provides insight into what has been planted internally. Personal development is an ongoing process of self-discovery and growth. It transcends mere acquisition of knowledge or skills. It involves introspection, cultivation of virtues, refining thought processes, and nurturing emotional intelligence. Philosophically speaking, it's akin to tilling the soil of one's soul, ensuring it's fertile for planting fruitful seeds that yield bountiful returns in all aspects of life. From this perspective, personal investment becomes an act of deliberate cultivation. It's not about amassing wealth or achieving societal success, but about growing as a person, deepening understanding, expanding awareness, enriching experiences. This internal growth impacts how they engage with the world around them and thus directly influences what they reap. Just as farmers invest time and resources into improving their land for better crops yield, individuals who commit to personal development essentially enhance their spiritual terrain. They make it more conducive for positive actions, seeds, to take root and flourish. By doing so, they increase the likelihood of reaping rewards that align with their highest good. With this understanding in mind, meditation emerges as a crucial tool in this journey towards enhanced self-awareness and personal growth. Akin to watering one's spiritual garden, regularly allowing seeds to germinate effectively, meditation paves way for deeper introspection, fostering emotional balance, which ultimately aids manifestation. Chapter 19. The Role of Meditation in Manifestation. Embracing a regular meditation practice can indeed be a game changer for those aiming to amplify their manifestation power. As an integral part of the spiritual law of sowing and reaping, meditation provides fertile ground for the seeds of one's desires to take root and flourish. Through its calming influence on the mind, meditation invites clarity and focus, two vital components in successful manifestation. It allows individuals to tune into their innermost desires, creating detailed mental pictures that serve as blueprints for reality construction. In this regard, it paves the way for effective sowing by aligning one's thoughts with desired outcomes. Moreover, meditation fosters an intimate connection with the universe or higher power, a relationship crucial in the process of reaping. By fostering feelings of unity and oneness, it encourages acceptance of universal laws such as that of attraction, which underscores manifestation. Additionally, it elevates one's vibrational frequency, the energetic signature that serves as a magnet pulling towards oneself what matches its resonance. Meditation also plays a key role in emotional regulation, an important aspect often overlooked in manifestation efforts. By helping manage negative emotions like doubt or fear that may hinder materialization processes, it ensures smoother pathways for one's intentions to manifest into tangible realities. A deeper understanding reveals how intrinsic meditation is in facilitating both phases, sowing and reaping, in our spiritual journey towards fulfillment and abundance. Its transformative influence extends beyond mere relaxation. It serves as an indispensable tool enabling us to mold our realities according to our deepest aspirations. On this note, moving forward requires not just vision, but also cultivating patience and perseverance, qualities critical in navigating life's ebb and flow while awaiting fruition. Chapter 20. Cultivating Patience and Perseverance. Having explored the role of meditation in manifestation, we now find ourselves poised on the precipice of a deeper understanding. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping is not simply about focused thought or visualization. It also demands patience and perseverance. Patience, in this context, isn't just a virtue. It's an active engagement with time. One does not plant a seed and expect an immediate harvest. There are periods of waiting, watering, nurturing before one can reap what was sown. Likewise, when engaging with life's trials and blessings from a spiritual perspective, patience becomes our ally. Perseverance serves as our steadfast companion on this journey towards manifestation. It keeps us tilling the soil, even when the promise of harvest seems distant or uncertain. Like a farmer who battles through harsh weather conditions to tend his crops, we must persist in nourishing our dreams and visions amidst life's challenges. In both patience and perseverance, there lies a profound wisdom. That growth takes time. That success often requires persistence. That meaningful change happens slowly but surely if one remains committed to the process. Yet cultivating these qualities goes beyond mere character development. Understanding their significance within the spiritual law of sowing and reaping brings us closer to aligning with nature's rhythms, recognizing that every endeavor has its own season for fruition. As we delve deeper into comprehending life's seasons, let us remember, each moment contains seeds waiting to be nurtured into full bloom, testament to our ability to co-create reality through the power inherent in patience and perseverance. Chapter 21. Understanding Life Seasons. Just as nature has its seasons, your life journey also goes through different phases, each with its own rhythm and lessons. Understanding life seasons is crucial for your spiritual growth, as the law of sowing and reaping operates in a cyclical manner. The winter is a period of introspection and rest. It is a time for deep inner work, letting go of what no longer serves you and preparing for new beginnings. Spring is when you plant seeds of intention. Although these ideas and intentions may not be visible yet, they are forming beneath the surface. Summer is the season for nurturing growth. It is a time to put effort into nurturing your ideas and intentions until they flourish. Autumn is when you reap the rewards of your labor. It is a time to enjoy the fruits of your hard work and see the manifestation of your efforts. Each season brings different experiences that contribute to your overall development. It is important to embrace the present moment fully and accept its challenges or rewards with grace, rather than rushing through one season to get to another. Understanding these seasons helps you navigate through life more harmoniously. You learn that everything takes its own time and that patience is essential in this process. As we transition into exploring how faith factors into this process, remember that every season requires faith. It is about trusting that even during winter's hibernation or spring's planting, there is unseen progress towards manifestation. Chapter 22. The Role of Faith in Manifestation. Faith acts as the cornerstone in your journey of manifestation. It cultivates a belief that your aspirations will come to fruition, even when tangible evidence is yet to appear. Referring to a survey by Statista in 2017, about 72% of Americans expressed they believe in the power of positive thinking. This belief essentially affirms their faith in the process of manifestation. It illustrates how deeply ingrained this concept has become within modern society. Faith serves as the spiritual equivalent to physical seed sowing. It's like planting unseen seeds into an invisible realm with conviction that it will yield visible results. It involves trusting in the process despite not seeing immediate returns. However, it's important not to mistake faith for blind optimism. Instead, it is a conscious and deliberate choice born out of understanding and acceptance. The role faith plays in manifestation correlates with the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. What we send out energetically through our thoughts and beliefs often comes back to us in physical form, good or bad. The belief here is that our reality mirrors our internal state. Hence, having unwavering faith can help attract desired outcomes. Delving deeper into this topic takes us beyond mere mental cognition. It nudges us towards experiential knowledge where enlightenment lies waiting. As one starts comprehending these profound concepts more clearly, there emerges an increased awareness about self and surroundings. This leads onto the path towards spiritual enlightenment without even realizing you're on a journey at all. Chapter 23. Spiritual Enlightenment and its Path. Exploring the path towards enlightenment is a fascinating journey. As one dives into the depths of spiritual growth, they encounter a myriad of concepts and practices that can guide them towards greater inner peace and understanding. This quest is not just about attaining knowledge or perfecting certain practices. It's about uncovering one's true essence and connecting with the divine spark within. Spiritual enlightenment is often compared to waking up from a long slumber. It involves peeling back layers of conditioned thought patterns and societal constructs to reveal an unadulterated view of reality. The path towards this awakening involves introspection, mindfulness, meditation, and sometimes even challenging life experiences that force individuals to question their perceptions and beliefs. As we delve deeper into spirituality, we come across the principle of sowing and reaping. This principle suggests that our actions have consequences, good or bad, in correspondence with their nature. In other words, what we sow in thought or action will eventually bear fruit in our lives. This understanding empowers individuals to take responsibility for their actions and steer their life path consciously. The concept of sowing positive thoughts also ties seamlessly into another powerful spiritual law, the law of attraction. After gaining insight into spiritual enlightenment, one might naturally gravitate towards exploring how this universal principle operates in shaping our reality. Chapter 24. The Law of Attraction. Having journeyed through the realms of spiritual enlightenment and its path, one can appreciate the intricate and profound connections that exist within the universe. As we delve deeper, we encounter another significant concept, the law of attraction. This principle is an offshoot of the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. It asserts that our thought patterns significantly shape our reality. The law of attraction posits a rather simple but powerful assertion. Like attracts like, in other words, positive or negative thoughts bring about positive or negative experiences in life respectively. It is a universal principle akin to gravity, subtle yet unyielding in its influence over one's life trajectory. This tenet suggests that human beings possess an innate power to manifest their desires into reality through consistent thought patterns. It invokes a profound sense of responsibility, as it infers that individuals are not merely subject to random events, but are active creators shaping their world continually. Analyzing this law philosophically reveals how intimately it aligns with various spiritual traditions around the world. Buddhism speaks about karma. Christianity mentions reaping what you sow, while Hinduism discusses dharma, all hinting towards similar concepts wrapped in different terminologies. Understanding this mind-matter connection can dramatically transform one's life perspective, empowering individuals to actively participate in creating their realities rather than being passive recipients of fate or chance. It leads us down a path where every thought becomes an intentional seed planted for future harvest. As we continue on this exploration, let's now venture into understanding how these laws and principles guide us along a transformative journey towards self-realization. Chapter 25. The Journey Towards Self-Realization. While the law of attraction illuminates how our thoughts shape reality, the path towards self-realization reveals an even deeper inner transformation. It's a journey where we don't just create our world, but discover who we truly are at our core. It's about unearthing the authentic self that lies beneath layers of social conditioning and personal fears. This process requires an inward focus and a willingness to confront all aspects of self, both light and shadow. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping comes into play here in a profound way. As one embarks on this voyage towards genuine understanding, every action taken is like a seed planted within the psyche. These seeds grow over time, yielding fruits directly reflective of their nature, whether they were sown in love or fear, compassion, or anger. Self-awareness is key on this path, for it allows us to discern what seeds we're actively planting within ourselves. In doing so, we begin to comprehend how these internal actions influence our external experiences, how our deepest beliefs about ourselves manifest in real-world scenarios. This journey isn't always comfortable, as it often demands confronting uncomfortable truths about oneself. Yet, it is through such discomfort that growth occurs, akin to breaking down muscle tissue to build strength. The reward at its end, however, is incalculable. An intimate knowledge of one's true self and an understanding that everything experienced externally mirrors something internally. As this journey unfolds, there's no grand finale or sweeping conclusion. Rather, each step brings us closer to the truth held within ourselves. Each moment spent cultivating self-awareness yields valuable insights into who we are at our essence, beyond labels and societal expectations, allowing us to reap the ultimate reward, authenticity rooted in deep self-understanding. In the grand game of life, our actions actively affect our aftermath. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping reflects this reality. It's an echo of karma, a mirror of manifestation, and a path to self-realization. Such thoughtful theories teach us that our attitudes and thought patterns play pivotal parts in personal progressions. Ultimately, understanding these universal principles unveils the power we possess to positively paint our paths. Thanks for listening to or reading this from Audiobook's office.